Hey everyone, it's the Firefly Captain here, and this is a review on the Nerf rival Mirage. Yeah, it's definitely been quite a while since I've last uploaded, probably a little bit too long, but I am back to give you this review. You guys may have also seen a little project that I'm working on if you've looked at my community tab at all, and I would still like to try to make that happen, but for the time being, here is a quick little review on this blaster. The Mirage is a brand new entry into the AccuRival series, if you want to call it that. I don't think it's officially named that, but I will be calling it the AccuRival series. I did review the Rival Fate, and I thought it was a pretty solid release overall, so I can't wait to see what the Mirage has in store for us. Taking a look at the back of the box, we can see that it's a magazine-fed blaster, but it also has this breech for loading rounds at the top, which I will talk more about in just a bit. Let's get this open. Alright everyone, I got the Mirage out of the box, and this blaster does come with an 8-round magazine, but you do get 10 Accu rounds, so you're getting a couple extra, which is nice, I suppose. I just think, I don't know, maybe 16 would have been a little bit more sensical, but hey, whatever, right? And you do, of course, get your instruction manual. Right out of the box, and I gotta say, I'm already pretty impressed with this blaster. Take a look at the design of this thing. It's really cool to me. They gave it this kind of yellow bar design, right? So you see that main one in the back here, and then we got this other whole thing up front. Just like a very cool blaster. I guess like if I were to describe it, it kind of has this kind of industrial look. Does that kind of make sense? I don't know. It's just a really interesting design. Let's dive deeper into this blaster and take a look at this. That is a barrel attachment point, much like an end strike barrel attachment point, and this is really interesting because, as far as I'm concerned, I certainly don't think we've ever seen some kind of barrel attachment point on a rival blaster before. Now, I do believe that the Challenger, which was a blaster that was kind of released alongside this, I do think that also has this same one, but this is like a new thing. And I did look into it a little bit. I don't think we have any kind of barrels released yet, as far as I'm aware. So perhaps we will be seeing that released sometime soon, but this is crazy, guys. Like, they made a new standard, right? Like a new attachment type. Really cool. As for other attachments on this blaster, I think the rails are just the exact same Picatinny style rail that Rival has always had. And you have a total of 5 rails on this blaster. You have one down here, you got the top one, there are 2 of the side rails, and you got one on the bottom here. You do have a few sling mount points on this blaster. This, I think, could definitely be considered a sling mount right here. You also have this hinging one right here, and then also the magazine actually even has a sling attachment point on the bottom, which is actually made of rubber. Over here we have the trigger lock. As it is right now, I can pull the trigger just fine, but if I push this forward, I can now no longer pull the trigger. This is a pretty standard thing that I think just about every single rival blaster has always had. This little triangle piece up here, though, it looks like it's a button. It looks like it does something, but actually it does nothing. It is just simply a stylistic choice. Next up, I want to talk about what's basically the main feature of this blaster. If I pull back the priming handle, you see how this breech has now opened up. So what's actually great about this is that I can actually continuously load the Accu rounds into the magazine without having to take the... well, that didn't work very well. Without having to take the magazine out of the blaster. It kind of didn't go in there very well just now. But yes, the idea is that you are able to just load rounds at the top, which can be a nice thing. You know, if you're running around the battlefield and you pick up a round, and you can pop it in quick. Quick might not be the best term to use, though, because it does seem a little bit finicky, perhaps. I mean, I don't know, I guess I'd have to test it out a little bit more, but what I'm already noticing is that there's kind of a lot of dead space behind kind of where the magazine entry point is located. And it seems like the rounds really kind of like to just kind of pop in there, and then it's not really in the magazine. So, I don't know. If you want to take out the magazine, the mag release is located on the left side of the grip right here, which I actually think is kind of a nice location, you know. It's pretty easy to just reach over and press this button and then take out the magazine. But that's another thing I want to talk about. So I feel like this has kind of always kind of been a thing with Rival. I mean, it's pretty common for the one round at the top to just fall out. But why does it seem really bad with this one? Like, it seems every time that happens. So, I don't know. I'll go ahead and load that round at the top. And see, once again, like, I mean, this is okay, but it kind of fell a little bit in the back of the blaster a little bit. And it's like, it's not really quite in the magazine. So I'll have to push it, and now it's more properly in the magazine, right? So that's kind of my point with the breech. I don't know, it seems a little bit of an iffy design because there is a lot of space for the round to go. Another point I want to talk about is the grip. So just kind of naturally holding it, I guess ergonomics-wise, it feels pretty okay. I mean, it's alright. And kind of like what I was saying with the mag release, I do think the location is actually pretty good. Just naturally holding it here, it doesn't really get in the way of your hand, but it's also right there when you need it. So I think that's pretty nice. What I maybe don't like as much is the design choice of having this window in the grip for the magazine, because here's the issue with it. When you are gripping it, your fingers are going to rest in that window, and I just don't think it really feels the greatest. Like, it's just kind of weird. Not to mention, I guess, if you're going to be taking the magazine out and you still have your other fingers here, like, it's going to kind of run along your fingers, and I just feel like that isn't the greatest. Also, by the way, another round just came out of the magazine. It's kind of bad. But I don't know, so the grip is just okay, I guess. I just feel like the design choice of having this window was, although maybe kind of stylish, I suppose, also kind of unnecessary. I think it would have been nicer if that was just closed off and you just had a normal grip. Otherwise, for the blaster, you do have this kind of thumb hole stock, if you want to call it that. I don't really think you can really say it's a stock. If you wanted to, you could shoulder it like this, but it's certainly a bit awkward, to say the least. I don't think it's really a stock, right? And then you have the priming handle up here, which does feel pretty nice to prime, I will say that. And of course, this blaster also has another pretty standard thing with Rival blasters, which is that kind of like emergency unjam button. So if you ever have a really bad jam, you should be able to kind of just press down that button, and you should be able to deprime the blaster and take the magazine out, and yeah, it should be alright. And I think that's about all I have to say for this blaster for now. Let's take it outside and see what it can do. Overall, I'm just not the most thrilled with this blaster. I think it's an okay release, but there's maybe a couple design things that make it a little bit less desirable. Now, this blaster was $20, which I do think is a relatively fair price, but perhaps this could be a blaster where you could wait till it's on sale. I don't know if I would necessarily say to go out of your way to buy this thing. But I will say, though, this blaster does have me even more curious for the future of the Rival line, mainly regarding that barrel. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you in the next one.